Ghana is considering the cultivation of cannabis for industrial and medicinal purposes under a proposed new law. Deputy Director General of Enforcement, Control and Elimination at the Narcotics Control Commission, Alexander Chumbarima, speaking on the AM show earlier today, said the move, if approved, could open new opportunities for research, export and economic growth. We'll hear from him shortly, but first, here is the story of 23-year-old Veronica, not her real name, who is battling drug addiction at the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital after her boyfriend introduced her to cocaine, marijuana, and opioids. Health workers warned her story is not unique, as teenagers as young as 13 are falling prey to the spiraling drug epidemic. In a Hotline documentary, the latest one, of course, Deadly Doses, Nana Boachiyadom exposes a drug crisis demanding urgent action. Here are excerpts.
Veronica, not her real name, is one of the addicts receiving treatment at Cath. She got hooked to drugs after her ex-boyfriend introduced her to it in Accra. Under the condition to keep her identity anonymous, she tells me how it all started.
It was through my ex-boyfriend. I was at Accra, and he was also a driver to one politician. So like the girl was having money. So anytime like I go there, we feel like we're having sex. Just want to get high. And when I started with cigarettes. That's for more white. Not knowing like you just mixed the cigarette with the drug. So anytime I just take the cigarette, it look different. If I just get out from that side, from her side, I go and buy myself my own cigarette, that more white. I take it, the taste also looks different. So one day I asked him, what's inside the cigarette that I used to give him? He said, oh, it's this. It's cocaine. It means I took it for 2 years.
In a very sober mood, she admits that the recovery process hasn't been easy.
Hey, suffocation. The way I'm suffering, you can ask the madam, the doctors and the patients around here. I don't sleep at night. And even there's some fusion, if they put it on me, I will cry throughout before the fusion will just went up. It's like there is a soul inside my body. So anytime the fusion gets to my body, then it just starts to eat me.
Kenneth Edukwachi is a pharmacist in Kumasi. He explains the essence of drugs such as opioids and how it leads to addiction.
Medication that are given for moderate to severe pain. Yes, so after the person is done with, let's say, the pain management, when you are taking opioids help with the release of something called dopamine. So dopamine release causes euphoria, causes pleasure, causes excitement, and after the pain has subsided, maybe they experience the fact that there were some pleasure or excitement when taking these medications. And I'll go ahead and take it. I'll continue taking it because of the pleasure that it's giving me.
According to him, there is a significant surge in the purchase of opioids among young people, especially on the streets, indicating the essence of regulations.
These drugs are deadly and we have to be careful. We have to get a regulation to help us regulate these drugs very, very well.
We used to buy those things. We are insane. Because going to buy something that's wrapped, you don't know what's inside, you don't know the quantity, you don't know how it is. You just take money, go buy.
The Ashanti Regional Director of NACOC, Samuel Yebua, underscores the role of neighboring countries in this crisis.
We've been making some arrests at the Kotoka International Airport. I must say that, this is one of the indicators that point to the fact that drug trafficking is on the increase, because the more people try to cross the airports and they are arrested, it just tells us trafficking is on the rise.
Dr. Jones Opokuwari is a criminologist at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He has spent years studying the interplay between crime and societal decay.
Studies have always found a positive, correlation between use of illicit drugs and crime, especially robberies. Okay, there are so many research within the crime literature that establish this link. So whatever the women are saying on the ground and the people are saying on the ground may be true, because always, sometimes criminals will need some, form of boosters, as it were, to be able to carry out the kind of activities that they want to carry. So for instance, if it's about robberies, some of them have to be high to be able to execute the kind of things they want to execute, because if you look at them, maybe naturally, if they are supposed to operate with their natural senses, they may not be able to carry out the things they want to do, because those operations are mostly very deadly.
Now catch the full Hotline documentary, Deadly Doses, at 8:30 tonight. And our Deputy Director General, Enforcement, Control and Elimination at the Narcotic Control Commission, Alexander Chum Berima, speaking on the AM show, cautioned that the Commission continues to face challenges, particularly in funding rates on pharmacies and over-the-counter drug outlets that illegally trade the cannabis and other controlled substances.
We are bringing up a law that is going to permit the planting of cannabis, but here people should listen carefully. The planting of cannabis is not for recreational purposes. It is for medicinal and industrial use. And even with that, the THC level that we are permitting by the law is 0.03. So anything beyond that, you have us to contend with. And even with that, we are making it a very strict system. Some people don't agree with whatever we are doing, but we know why we are doing that, because we have studied the system and know that if you give somebody an inch, before you realize the person is taking like 10 years. So you have to always block any possible loopholes so that you don't get into a problem. That because you've legalized, because you've permitted, the planting, it now has been spread across all the length and breadth of the country, and that every other person is using it. No. So even with the planting for medicinal and industrial use, if you want a license, you must show that you have an off-taker. And that off-taker is ready to take your produce once you are done thoroughly. But we run an intel-led operations. So when necessary, we strike you. Sometimes it will look like we are not aware that you are doing these things. So in your mind, you will think you are free. But what you don't know is that every step of you, we are aware. Our K9 unit is centered only in the HQ in Accra. But I wish we have them in, for instance, the western area, the northern part, then the central or the middle belt, i.e. Ashanti region, specifically.
Joining me via Zoom is Amma Bosumpeme, a volunteer at Willing Way Recovery and Rehabilitation Center. Amma, thank you for joining us this afternoon. Tell me, how serious is the situation at the Rehabilitation Center which you volunteer at? Kindly unmute if you can hear me. We'll try and reconnect with Amma so we can get to understand how serious this is at the Rehabilitation Center which she volunteers with. Amma, if you can hear me, tell me, how severe is the situation, the substance abuse particularly, at the center, the numbers, the people you have to deal with at the Rehabilitation Center?
Yes, so good morning from Willing Way. Thank you for giving us this opportunity. In our facility, we deal with addiction and recovery. We teach these addicts coping mechanisms, a new way of life. And as of now, we have over 100 clients. And every day we get like 4 to 5 new admissions. And most of these people do pills and weed. And it's a growing concern. And I think this is the reason why we embarked on Ghana Against Red Abuse campaign last Friday. Most of these youths do not have any other way of life apart from doing pills because of accessibility. It's easy for them to access it. And I think of the influx of it in the vicinity, in any area that they live in, I think this is where we are getting our issue from because they are able to access it, it's available to them, nobody is saying anything. People are not arresting anybody and they think it is okay. So their friends are introducing them to it. Alcohol is accessible and they think it is okay. So with our facilities so far, I think it is on the rise now. Most of them used to be alcohol, and now we have a lot of weed and pills addicts in here. And most of them are as young as 13 years. We have younger people here, we have 13, most of them. We had an admission yesterday and the person couldn't write WASI today because he was abusing red. So this is the situation we have now.
You have at least 4 admissions every day. Are these referrals or these are families just bringing in their wards or people are walking in to seek help? What does it look like?
Yes, most of them are referrals. We have people that walk in and, addiction comes with its own set of social vices. It isn't necessarily the addiction that is getting people to seek help, but then the kind of things they do when they use their substances of choice. And that is where the concerns are. So people are coming here. The last admission we had yesterday was because he was erratic in the house. He had bitten and hurt every relative in the house. So they came here with bite marks and bullet marks. They had knife marks. And then they had to run him because at that point they felt like, no, they couldn't contain that person. It is because of the consequences of the addiction, not necessarily the substance they are taking, but the consequences, the things they do when
Amma,
relatives are bringing them in.
Okay.
We barely have people that are working. Most of them are being brought in by people.
So you say that there was a WASI candidate that was unable to take his or her exam today because of the situation. I mean, are you able to tell his or her age and how many of those do we have, especially that age group in the rehab?
Yes, so in our rehab, we have over 100 clients, and that age group is like 80% of the clients we have. We have a younger person here. The youngest we have is 13. The oldest we have is 60. And those are around, say, 30 to 50 are just like 20. Most of them are between 13 and 22. They are younger people.
Amma, do you have people who have been helped? They look better, they go back to the substance abuse?
Yes, we do. People, families, and people that bring in clients that are addicted do not understand that we don't just treat the individual with addiction. We have to treat the entire family. People that are bringing in those addicts should understand that they can't do it on their own. They need help, they need support. So if you bring somebody to us and we are able to psych the person after detoxification and then after therapy, and then you take the person back home and then you make it look like, oh, they can do it on their own because they've been in rehabilitation. The probability that they would relapse is like 9/10 because they don't have any support. If they were unemployed, they are still going to be in the house unemployed. And devil finds work for idle minds. So they still have to go back because they are probably in the same vicinity they used to be. They are still entangled in the same job or profession that expose them to these substances. And if we don't do anything about those things, we professionals will do our work, but then we take the person back and the people relapse. Relapse is usually very high in Ghana here because people do not help.
Amma, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you.